Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, making his MMA debut, representing Club MMA, fighting out of Cincinnati, Ohio, weighing in at 153 pounds, Derek Pandorf!
Pandorf with all sorts of theatrics. Did you see he did the
And
throat
his opponent
slashing
to my
gesture?
right, fighting out of the red corner, also making his MMA
fighter.
debut, weighing in at 156 pounds, representing Nashville MMA, Nathan Brewer!
Nathan Brewer with no outfit. He did not wear an outfit to the cage, and he did not make any type of gesture prior to the fight starting. So take from that what you will.
Coach Jeff Robinson was telling me before the fight that they love coming down here to Bowling Green because of the atmosphere. And I can even all the way down here, with them being from Cincinnati, I see Derek Pandorf signs in the crowd. And he's definitely feeding into that energy. They are getting right after it. Now they've got in clinch, jockeying for position on the cage. Pandorf digging underhooks. Brewer looking like he's making a pretty big effort to get the takedown there. And there he goes with a little underhook whip. Straight to a crucifix position. He's landing some strikes here, and Pandorf's kind of stuck in a tough spot. They're not big shots, but they're landing quite a bit of them. Pandorf, there he goes. He's able to get to the half guard. He's not out of the fire, though.
Small step in the right direction.
That's right. Brewer's still being pretty active on top, putting the pressure on here. The striking is slowed down. Oh, there he goes.
And he's got that arm pinned behind his head. That's tough.
Yeah, now it looks like he's going for the choke. Moore just keeping the pressure. Now he's starting to try to pass that half guard.
Trying to set up a head and arm choke.
I'll be honest, he's getting through that half guard pretty easily. Big strike there. Now he's in the full mount, raining strikes. I think that's the game plan, is a lot of ground and pound here. I don't think Brewer's going to look for a submission. I think he wants to get the win right here. Zero attempt at his neck, just manhandling him back down to land big strikes. And he is doing plenty of that.
Somehow,
pace is slowed
Derek
down,
got
though.
him down there. I didn't see exactly what happened, but that's what Derek wants. He wants to get him closer to him and be able to control him and minimize this damage.
Yeah, he also wants to get out of that full mount there, but it's going to be tough to do while the strikes are raining down.
And he's punching from the bottom.
Yeah, Nathan's even framing that face, holding his chin and landing the right hand. Derek's doing his best to try to tangle him up. Oh, there we go with
sweep
some
from bottom mount.
There he goes. He comes
was
from the
that?
top to the bottom. He just kind of manned his way up there.
Bottom mount sweep?
Yeah.
Is that
Then lets him up. Now the punches are going to start coming.
Pandorf was very aggressive at the beginning with the striking. He has Nicholas Hubler-Scherf and Jeff Robinson in his corner. He knows how to throw hands. He knows how to throw kicks and knees. I assume since he's with Hubler-Scherf and them, he's pretty experienced with the Muay Thai training, and it appears to be the case.
Brewer, man, he gets that underhook, and he can just take him whichever way he wants the fight to go. Led right into that underhook. Short time left. It's probably going to end right here. Tough first round. Action-packed. Not in the judge's chair tonight, but if I was, I'd probably have to give that first round to Pandorf.
That's wild, right?
Yeah, I mean,
and that's coming from a wrestler.
I mean, landed a couple of takedowns, and I'm sorry, not Pandorf, Brewer.
Oh, okay.
My mistake. I was looking at Pandorf when I meant to say Brewer.
That's okay. Yeah.
But yeah, no, Brewer. I mean, like 2 decisive takedowns, a bunch of strikes from the top, cut through his guard. I mean, he had control of the whole round. Pandorf was able to get out at the end, but I mean, I don't know how you outweigh one escape to 2 takedowns and a bunch of shots.
You know what's funny is, you in my mind when you said that, and I was thinking he said Pandorf won that first round. I was thinking, well, I must have missed something. In my mind, I had just been like, well, something, I wasn't paying close enough attention.
Well, I wasn't. I was paying too close of attention because Pandorf's corner is right next to us, and I was staring right at him when I was referring to Nathan Brewer.
He's got some very aggressive striking. He does not appear to be shy about mixing it up with the knees, the punches, and the kicks.
Yeah, and he's not throwing anything to feel him out. He is, he's throwing a bunch of power shots. He's trying to hurt him with bad intentions.
Brewer's got a good amount of blood over
coming
there.
out of the nose. Interesting that they opted not to wipe that.
And he's smiling, kind of showing it off.
Yeah. Oh, touch of the gloves here. Back at it. Leg kick to open us up.
Now, this is the type of thing where Brewer could let the hands go, yes, because Pandorf was probably worried so much about the takedown.
Yeah, but Brewer's also considerably lighter on his feet, moving side to side. Pandorf's trying to chase him down and land those heavy shots. Brewer's landing a couple leg kicks, moving in and out.
Pretty good combo there from Brewer. His striking looks clean.
He's definitely he's this round he's mixing it up a little bit more.
Big overhand right.
There he goes.
Brewer looks like he's got a
to the groin. I didn't have a good angle. I wasn't looking, but boy, he's reacting like it was a real one.
About 5 seconds prior to that, what appears to be a knee to the groin, Brewer was indicating that maybe he had a little bit of a groin shot. So in his mind, within 5 seconds, a couple groin shots.
When you're playing close quarters like that, throwing those knees, especially if early in your career, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, this is both of their debuts. So I mean, all you really have is a dice. You know what I mean? Every time you throw that shot, you haven't spent enough time in there. You're just, and especially when you're this young and you're trying to throw them hard, the harder you go, sometimes the less accuracy you get.
You think Pandorf minds that he did that? Does that help him in the fight, maybe?
I mean, I doubt it. I don't think that's gonna go. I don't think it was intentional or anything like that. If anything, he got a couple extra breaths. But I mean, Brewer's right back to light on the feet, striking from distance, and then gonna march him down and look for his underhook and for his takedown.
Oh, there is some heavy hands being thrown here.
Pressure from Pandorf. He wants to slow him down, but there's that underhook again, man.
About the same throw, really.
Yeah. Just different leverage, going right back to that crucifix. They're trying to use the fence to get off or at least keep the angle. But right back to that underhook is Brewer. Pandorf able to get to his feet.
Yeah, Pandorf is tough. I think
big
this guy's
lift here,
an athlete.
body lock, all from that same underhook, man. That's going to be trouble if he can continue to get there.
And that's what I was saying about this fight, is when I heard the degree of wrestling that Brewer has.
Back to that crucifix, and he's going to start striking again.
Amateur debut fighters, I hear that one guy was a state qualifier, Mooney. I kind of think, okay, it'll be difficult to overcome that. And it appears to have come to fruition, at least thus far. Now,
right back to that iron cross, landing those chip shots.
Now, that doesn't necessarily mean anything bad for Pandorf. I mean, this Brewer guy might be an absolute stud.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so Brewer looks to me like he might have a very well-rounded game.
Yeah, he definitely has a game plan that he's looking to implement. I don't know if I go as far as to say well-rounded. We have 34 seconds left, and he's continuing to do these chip shots. I'd like to see him either transition to a bigger shot or look for a choke or an arm to put him away here at the end of round 2. He's obviously going to win the judges right here, but I mean, our referee has no intention of stopping the fight from these chip shots. Dominant round, but I think, as his career advances, as his skill advances, I think in that 30-second window, he tries to put him away.
When you say put him away, if you're his coach, you mean submission and TKO? About those
I definitely wouldn't
equally weighted?
I wouldn't sacrifice the top position. In MMA, I think staying on top right there in that 30-second window is most important. But he could have transitioned to like knee on belly or even just better posture to where the punches could have had a little bit more on him. Or, you know, a same side choke or a far side arm. I wouldn't want him to fall back or do anything crazy. But, I mean, even if it's just when you hear the 10-second clapper, posture up and land a big shot so you put an exclamation point on the last thing the judges see. And then maybe if it lands right, they don't get up and then there is no round 3.
We're right next to Pandorf's corner over here. So being they might be able to hear what we're saying, a little awkward. But I'll ask you, what would you be telling Pandorf headed into round 3?
Well, Pandorf's been trying to march him down and land the big shots. And I don't think that there's any point getting off that horse. If he's going to win that fight, it's going to be with a big shot. He hasn't been able to get the takedown. He hasn't really looked for it. So, you know, he's probably going to go out. I mean, if a guy who trains in armored combat isn't the kind of fellow who's going to go out on his shield, I don't know who
It
is.
appears he is that.
That's right.
He is.
I would expect nothing less for him to march him right down in the middle and try to knock his head off.
Yeah. And the knee approach he has used could be a Jorge Masvidal type, you know, in his mind at least. Someone's constantly shooting in or, you know, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a way to keep a guy off your legs, but a lot of the wrestling exchanges that Brewer's initiating are all coming from that underhook. He's definitely got to answer. Oh, there he goes. Like I said, he's hunting.
Yeah.
He is not going gently.
Yeah, Pandorf doesn't seem like he's trying to go out
a
like.
A lot more active with the legs. Brewer going for the big shot. He's had a couple head kicks in each round.
I mean, if we're being real and we look at Brewer's face, I mean, there's quite a bit of blood over the course of the fight. So Pandorf
he's some shots.
Yes.
Pandorf's landing these shots, and he's throwing with bad intentions. Look, but there's that underhook, man. It's tough to answer that question. Look at this.
Pandorf
Underhook
with a
of
little
his
bit
own and a little bit of a sprawl, but now we're up against that fence. I'll tell you right now, Pandorf is not going gently. He knows he's behind, so he is swinging for the fences.
I love how many punches he's been throwing from unorthodox positions from the bottom.
Yeah, but, I mean, we've seen more blood out of Brewer than we have out of Pandorf. He's landing those shots. I can hear those, Kelly.
A minute, 46 seconds left in the third and final round.
This is a nightmare of a round to score. Look at those shots. I mean, those hurt.
Pandorf has to be thinking, I've still got it in me. I need a KO, right?
Brewer's doing his best to bury that shoulder and keep against the fence. All right, now we're in the guard. Halfway through the final round. Pace has definitely slowed. Pandorf's trying to knock his head off with every shot he throws. Brewer's starting to strike again from the top position, but not doing it, not keeping the pressure on. Pandorf might find a way out. Brewer back to an overhook here, keeping that whizzer. Now the pressure's on. But you can tell that his pace has slowed. He's not throwing those big shots anymore. He's had to deal with quite a few shots of his own. That wrestling pressure, keeping him on top. Looking like he's going to try to kick off the cage here.
If their toes start getting involved in the cage wires there too much, you as the ref, you step in?
You're not supposed to use them, just like your fingers. It's okay if they go through, but it's an issue if they make grip. Big shots here from Brewer. He knows that there's 30 seconds left. Crowd's getting behind him here. He's looking to put it away. Pandorf not giving any ground, though. Pushing him away, trying to get to his feet. Got to be frustrated here. Oh, look at this. Back to his feet. Double leg coming. Oh! 10 seconds into the final round. I don't think we're going to see anything different from here. Oh, almost throw an elbow. Big shots from the bottom and a handshake. You don't get much better than that, man.
And you don't get much more appropriate use of the phrase going out on a shield than that either.
This fight is like a endorsement for why there shouldn't be cage grappling at local MMA events.
The fans seemed a little more engaged with this, you think?
Just a touch. Getting the tally before Sean McClure comes in for the final honors. Shelley's in there with the gold, just waiting to make it official.
Never know, Pandorf may have a heck of an MMA career
Ladies
ahead
and
of him.
gentlemen, after
28 years old, and
three
he's just getting
hard-fought
started. The whole world's
rounds,
in front of
the
him.
judges have rendered a decision.
good time.
All three judges scored about 30 to 27 for the winner. Fighting out of the red corner, Nathan Brewer.
What an interesting fight, right?
Yeah, man.
What an interesting debut fight.
Oh, great. I mean,
Bo-
but
double
both
debut.
of those guys came to fight, man. That was a good time. A little bit of everything.
I'm here with Nathan Brewer. Nathan, to be honest with you, you look a little beat up in the face, but tell us what happened. It looked like you got hit below the belt.
Well, first off, I'll just say thanks to God. I wouldn't be here without him today. I'm very appreciative of my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Second, yeah, that notch hurt. That hurt pretty bad.
We saw you go down. They gave you time to recover, but you got back up like a true warrior. Were you ever hurt in the fight? We saw the blood coming out of the nose, but was there ever a point where you rocked?
No, not at all. Just more so evaluating and reading the terrain. And hats off to Derek, man. He put a pretty good fight for me.
All right, Nathan, thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a short 5-minute intermission.